Let us look into electric vehicle and its growth within the context of India's and China's strategic response. Automobile is a large industry. It produces more than $3 trillion revenue. Germany alone produces more than $500 billion revenue. It's basically 3% of global GDP of $90 trillion. Any country which has an ambition of keep growing and making it high income country cannot afford to overlook the value addition in the global value chain of automobile industry. India understood its importance long ago. Just right after the independence from the British, India took serious steps of producing automobiles locally. India took license from a British company for producing its component, assembling them together, and rolling out its own product. Since then, India has been pursuing the strategy of adding value to automobile through labor. India pursued many protectionistic policies, and industry took the advantage of that, of developing profitable business out of adding value through labor. Though in the recent past, India has liberalized its economy. Competition has picked up, foreign brands have come in Indian market, but Indian automobile companies are still in the race of adding value through labor. And that has created a large number of jobs. Almost 37 million people in India, they work in the automobile industry. So it appears to be a success story for India. Now look into China. Upon being the global manufacturing hub, China looked into the automobile industry. And China desperately wanted to have a pie of this industry. China promoted joint venture and also domestic farms producing automobiles to serve the domestic market. But automobile industry has an age of more than 100 years. Many of these technologies have matured, particularly its engines and many other components. Where significant value is added, they have matured. Dominant players, they have the skill, they have the patents, and they have other complementary capacities, which are difficult to break for a new entrant like China. And moreover, China's labor is far more costly than India's labor. So if China couldn't pursue the India strategy of manufacturing components, assembling them together by adding value through labor, it was a serious challenge for China. And China could not afford to overlook it. China then detected the emergence of electric vehicle as an opportunity to step in. Electric vehicle, in order to be better substitute to gasoline vehicle, requires significant improvement in its core technology building block, that is the battery, the lithium-ion battery. Cost of the battery should be reduced further by a factor of 3 or so, and its performance should be improved significantly so that it takes far less time to charge, it holds far more charge, so that with a single charge it can go quite long, and within a minute, as opposed to an hour, the automobile could be fully charged to go for 500 miles. Then China understood acquiring the capability of manufacturing the battery, other building blocks of the automobile like power electronics, motor, was not sufficient enough to have a significant value addition capability in this industry. And China didn't have strong foothold in the battery technology either. Then China went out and bought TDK, a Japanese battery maker. And that company not only had the manufacturing capability, had also the patents, research capacity of producing additional knowledge and ideas for improving the or for keep improving the lithium-ion battery, making it better and cheaper. China's CATL is basically the outgrowth of TDK. Over the years, what China did, China aggressively invested in universities, in research laboratories for basic research and the chemistry of lithium-ion battery. China also gave incentives and encouraged its CATL, its BYD, to adapt or to apply the academic knowledge into the ideas of the design of the ideas of making the battery better and cheaper and also improving the process. As a result, China has got into a situation where China is highly competitive to the rest of the world with respect to its ability of improving the battery, making it better and cheaper. It is not just having the capacity to produce, it is the capacity how fast you can make it better and cheaper. That's the place your success story is going to lie. Now, electrical vehicle is reaching to the inflection point, and India recognizes that. And India has a burning issue to solve, that is its growing air pollution. Toxic air in Delhi and many other cities is a major cause of premature death, particularly of elderly and children. Then India felt the necessity of the replacement of gasoline vehicle with electric vehicle to make the air cleaner because health cost was skyrocketing. And India doesn't have competitive technology to make automobile. If they just start producing lithium-ion battery, that is not sufficient enough because it needs to have intellectual assets, intellectual properties, and the research capacity so that they keep succeeding in producing better battery at lower cost. Otherwise, in a competition, they would not be able to stand up. Now, what is happening? India has allocated subsidies, more than 1 billion, close to 2 billion in the 2019 budgets to roll out electric vehicle. Basically, it is to subsidize to buy major modules from China as high as 70% or 80%. On the other hand, local value addition capacity to electric vehicle of India is negligible because electric vehicle requires less than 50% labor than gasoline vehicle to produce. So here is a contrast. China took the advantage of technology discontinuity. China invested in research and development to acquire the capacity of making electric vehicle better and cheaper. China gave subsidy, that is true, to roll out its diffusion. But most importantly, China strategically developed the research capacity to be competitive and to keep advancing that competitiveness. And as electric vehicle requires far less labor than gasoline vehicle, so China's labor cost disadvantage has partly been solved. Now what has happened? After the 70 years of automobiles journey, India is now finding itself to be in weakened position to add value or to keep adding value to automobile. On the other hand, China, being a new entrant, is going to have an edge or commanding edge in the global automobile industry. This is a place developing countries need to learn from China and need to learn the failed policies of India and other developing countries. So they should stop thinking that by adding value to industrial output through labor and raw material is the only option they have. No. They should focus on harnessing their science and engineering graduates, in establishing research centers, in investing in academic research, and linking academic research with their industrial strategy, with their investment, with their entrepreneurial activities, so that they blend their labor and raw material with a new competency, that is ideas based on research, based on new flow of knowledge. If they do not change or update their strategy, they will keep getting weaker and weaker. And they will likely suffer from premature deindustrialization. On the other hand, China realized it and China aggressively invested it. It is a national strategy. It's a national policy framework which has linked multiple actors into a system capacity, which is vital. So it is not the show of a single actor. It is a collective show. and it should be led by the national level strategy, national level policy framework. So developing countries should take lesson from China, should take lesson from India's position or eroding position in automobile industry with the emergence of electric vehicle. And they should change the course. Otherwise, they will keep weakening their position in global industrial economy, and they will never be able to open the path of keep going out of their science and engineering capability, what they are acquiring now. It is a vital issue for developing countries, policymakers, strategists, development planners, academics, business associations, industry association. It is a time to change the course before it is too late.